And it's official.
Yeah.
We're
Hey
live.
everyone, we're live.
The first after show for a showcase that you get Mitchell and I after working down here all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you so much.
How are your voices?
Oh, good. We're used to it at
Yeah,
this point.
it's just the start of the marathon, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If you ask us again on Saturday, you might get a different question.
Yeah. I'm on day like 5 now in a row from announcing
Yeah,
this week.
It's been a long week or so, right?
It's good for the wintertime, but if you're not from Arizona and you're a little out of shape from shooting, it's kind of a marathon for sure. When we started with the regional and then the classic, 4 days of shooting before we even started on Wednesday. Wednesday was day 5, and now we're on 6.
Yeah. And now Adam lives in Iowa, I live in Missouri, so it's -5 at our house right now. We're getting all sorts of texts and calls with people like, "You were so lucky to be out there. We wish we were there."
Don't feel sorry for you
They
at
all wanna
all
come
being
next year.
down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It's been
left
beautiful.
-4 the
Yeah.
day I left. Flew into 75.
Yes.
Not complaining about some winter sun.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Or feeling a little strung out, like, oh man, you've been shooting for 5 days in a row in the 70s. Poor you.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly right.
It's pretty nice. So how's your shoot going, Adam?
Man, I had plenty of rust to work off for sure for the first couple days. I mean, I had some highs and some lows, but I felt pretty good about today. We did the qualifier events yesterday. Mitchell announced for him. He didn't get to bring a horse down this time from
Right.
some unfortunate truck events and stuff. But man, we went to the qualifiers. I competed in the cavalry, absolutely killed it. I rode my 5-year-old horse, my little goose bomb that's going to be in the Derby this year. I rode him up. We ended up winning the Open, so I was the number 2 callback. I'll win the cavalry saber here for the long rounds.
Nice.
Had a really good day on Wednesday. Turned around and ran a world record for one run until that mean old Brett Burkowski took away from me. So Mitchell got to announce for it when we went to the second stage of the men's AAA Eliminator. I came in on my main mount horse, absolutely down a killer run, but Brett took it away from me one run later, and then Dylan came in one run after Brett and took it away from him. So Dylan got another world record, at least got to hold on to it for like 45 seconds until Brett took it from me. So I had a really good day qualifying on Wednesday.
Today was really good for you. Your main match stage 1 had 9.997, if I recall correctly, on the candy cane.
Nice memory there.
Yeah.
Really good. It was kind of odd. You know what I mean? We get to a major championship, and it's 5 stages, and it's the best in the world down here. And they draw the only pattern that has more than one way to get through it, so to say, more than one option to take was stage number 1. So there's kind of a lot of strategy involved in today on who's going to put the pressure on everybody coming in behind them or in front of them. The draw was actually completely random for the first time in a long time. They've been sorting by CMSA number all last year for all of our majors, and this is the first time that we had an actual random draw.
Yeah.
I was the 3rd man out in the men's 6s. There was a whole lot of big misses. On stage number 1, Kenda came out here. She's been on fire for 4 or 5 days and dropped a balloon.
Right.
Abby laid down a good run. She was leading at 10-5 for quite a while, and then the men's 6s stepped up, and I think I was the first. Did anybody cut through 3 and 4 before I did it?
There was Larry Pagel did cut between 3 and 4 before you did it, and he did
made the shot.
He made the shot. He was a range master. He rolled in. He made the shot, and you talked about the draw. And I think the draw is so important in our sport of how we classify with these classes, because it really goes into the mental game that it takes to compete in mounted shooting. I mean, you get to watch some of your competitors go before you, and if maybe someone misses, maybe you're going to run it a different way, or maybe someone slays a run like Adam did, and that's going to make the other riders behind them try to take that same risk. And that's one of the really cool things about the sport versus a sport when I announce and go to a lot of barrel racing. You know, you're trying to be in a better spot for better ground. Where here you're trying to be in a better spot to see exactly how you need to play and make your play.
And I mean, it was up in the air on stage number 1 here, first stage of 5 for a major. I was back here in the loading area with all the 6s, and I'm not saying we're always the fastest guys in the pen, but I mean, statistically speaking, we've got a pretty good chance at it. And there was all 4 or 5 of us guys were up in the air saying who's going to do it. I mean, somebody's got to make it before we put the pressure on them. Just had a really solid run on stage number 1. I cut through 3 and 4, made a long shot. Horse came around the barrel, worked really good. We put in a 9-9, and that kind of forces the hand for everybody right behind you.
Yeah. It was really cool to announce it, too, because he rode right by my announcing stand and gave me a look like, I'm going to do it. And then he went out there and killed it. It was great.
Yeah,
it's really, really good. A couple big misses right behind us, too, in our class. Tyler came in, Tyler Johnson from Utah, smoking fast for several days in a row, dropped the balloon.
Right. I think if we look at the statistics of people who have won in the past, if you had to take bets on who is going to be leaving today with how they are sitting now, I think people would be amazed to see exactly how it turned out after
Mhm.
stages 1 and 2. But really, stage 1, the candy cane is a very tough main match pattern, especially on the first stage, because that is a pattern where you're going to have to judge that risk of where am I cutting, where am I going? Am I going between 3 and 4? Am I going between 4 and 5? If I'm left-handed, do I stay on the outside of the pattern? So it's a really tough to be your first stage at a major event being stage 1.
Yeah. Some of your favorite runs?
Mine for sure. I mean, I ended up
Yeah.
taking the 1D there. I didn't really
Yeah.
know it was coming. Had a great run. I was more surprised not by the great runs, but how many misses there were on stage 1. It really blew me away that the leaderboard was shaped the way that it was after stage 1. I was more surprised and more shocked by the number of misses
Yeah.
on stage 1 than I was the really, really great runs.
Yeah, and it also shows that we had a lot of people hit the barrels or they missed the barrel turn on the candy cane today. And that barrel turn is just as important as hitting a balloon sometimes when it comes to some of these patterns. If you miss your barrel, you could waste 5 seconds trying to come back to it.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that really played a big part in the stage that we shot.
It instantly shuffled too. We went ahead. You got to come out there and watch the end of us run on stage 2 because the arena in here finished quite a bit before out there. The dirt gets really, really deep in arena 2 for everybody watching at home. So as the day goes on and the Arizona sun that none of us are going to complain about comes out, it's tough to keep moisture in that outside arena. So it's getting really, really deep on us. So they're doing a good job. The grounds crew is doing a great job here. They're keeping water on it, but they're dragging about every 5. So if you're wondering why it takes us so long at home, there's about an hour and a half delay from when you shoot in here by the time we get through the 6s to when you're going to shoot out there. So they're dragging every 5. We got through that outdoor pin. It was instantly shuffled back up. I went from hero to 0 in a hurry. I was going to take a safer line. I knew all the wolves in my class were standing there telling me it's the same stage we ran at Nationals, and everybody knows about what happened last year at Nationals. You can take a risk. You take a really aggressive line and take a cross shot for a righty on number 2 and 3, and all the guys who are really fast in my class are nodding at me saying, you shouldn't, but all of us are. We're coming for you. Going to run you down.
Right. You got these sharks behind you that are like, take the risk.
Yeah, take it. And they're all saying, good luck. We're going to run you down. So my horse got a little sideways with me. I canked over the barrel out there, picked up a 5-second penalty. So hero to 0 in a hurry, but that's all the blood and the water it took for the rest of them. Dylan Lawson laid down a smoke show of a run out there. Brett Burkowski laid down an absolute banger out there. Tyler wasn't far behind him.
Right.
Kenda has a smoking fast time, I think, as a lady. She's working off a miss right now. I think she's 3rd fastest time with a miss. Yeah. It's just not a leaderboard we're really, really used to seeing after day 1 of a major. It's really mixed up right now.
It really just shows you the competitiveness of the sport. I mean, it's not like we start from a clean slate after stage 1, so it's not a clean slate. So once you go to stage 2, then you have these guys that are trying to catch up from maybe a mistake they made in stage 1, and they have 5 stages to do so. So they got to really make it up, and we've seen it happen before.
Gosh, there's been winners with a miss down here 2 times now, right? Chun's won it with a miss, and Dylan won it with a miss.
I believe so.
So
on that note, what are you thinking we're going to see over the next couple of days?
It's never a good time to miss at a major by any means, but by golly, if you're going to miss one, the time to do it is on stage number 1 because there's no other option now. Your foot is smashed on the gas for every stage. There's no other option now, and you could see it on all of those guys' face out there. When they ran in that class, they had a different mentality. The loading area on stage number 2 was far different today in my class than it was on stage 1. There's no more options, no more weighing what we're going to do. Every one of them looked right at me and said, we're all going cross on 2 and 3. Good luck. We're coming for you. It's going to be a shootout. I mean, I have a feeling that the leaderboard is going to drastically change over the next 3 stages. It looks really funny right now. I mean, I just looked over there as we finished the showcase. We've been really busy, but I mean, overall Cowboy right now is a men's
3, I believe.
4?
4, 3.
Ben Harness. I mean, props to you. I hope you're watching, Ben. Congratulations. You're sitting in the driver's seat, but I would not sleep light on my pillow tonight with all the wolves he's got standing right behind him. Those boys are coming, and they know they have to work off a miss. It's going to be a really exciting show to watch. Now, granted, you push that hard. You know, Mitchell, you've been there. I've been there. When you start pushing that hard, it's all or nothing.
And like you talked about, I hope he sleeps well tonight because the mental game it takes in this sport, when you shoot 2 stages and you still have 3 left to go and you have to go a full 24 hours before you shoot again, it can really get to somebody, especially if you've never had the pressure before.
Well, and the difference between shooting at a local shoot, we were talking about that earlier too. You go and you shoot a Saturday match, and yeah, you're going to string together 4 runs, but if you're having a great day, it all kind of easily goes great at once. And if you're having a bad day, well, it falls apart quick, but tomorrow resets. It's a new day.
Right.
You have to stay at such a high level of competitiveness here when you compete at a major, especially if it's your first one and you don't really know how to deal with the anxiety and how much pressure comes with thinking you need to run faster or slower than you would at home. It's a lot to hold together. It puts a lot of pressure on everybody to compete at their highest level.
So what would
Absolutely.
you recommend for those newer shooters who are really feeling that pressure today? And I spoke to a few new shooters who are like, this is a lot. This is a lot of days of shooting. They're experiencing the roller coaster that they might never have experienced before. What advice do you have for them at this point in the
So
competition?
I guess I'll start. And I mean,
Go ahead.
and it's not easy. I was the front row, hands up on the roller coaster today. I won the first stage and went out there and instantly found my way to belly roll out the bottom. Now it's time to go. You just have to treat it like you are at home. You got to play the way you practice. You have to keep running consistently and hard and try to block out everybody else, all the noise, all the excitement. A lot easier said than done, but you just have to keep running consistency and give you and your horse the best chance to stay in the fight through 5 stages. It's going to change. The leaderboard is going to change. The excitement is going to come and going to go. You have to find a way to level out your path as best as you can would be my advice.
Absolutely. You just have to keep going. I remember my 3rd shoot was in DuQuoin, Illinois, and this was like 14 years ago. And it was my 3rd shoot ever, and I made a really good run, and I came out of the gate, and this guy, he still shoots with us, Kenny Rasnick out of Bonne Terre, Missouri, said, did you have butterflies in your stomach when you went out there? And I said, yeah, I did. And he goes, that doesn't go away. And it doesn't go away. It sticks with you, and you just have to learn to deal with it, and it helps you shoot faster, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, my buddy Jamie Travis says, when the butterflies go away, I'm going to quit shooting, and that's what drives us all to come back. You have a good day, you have a bad day, you always feel that excitement in your gut when you're getting ready to go in there. I mean, Mitchell competes at the highest level in our sport. We're both men's level 6s. We've been at the top of the leaderboard. I'm still excited. I still got beat by the roller coaster today. I mean, I was sitting on top of the world for 10 minutes and then went out there and waited for a stage. And it's a lot to keep your emotions under control. When I figure it out, I'll spread the word to everybody else. But that's what we're working on. That's what we're trying to do.
And it's not over until it's over.
That's
It's gonna
exactly right.
keep changing.
Everything
too.
can change the last day of the shoot, that is for sure. You can lose it all in one, and you can win it all in one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all that you're doing. You're both doing an amazing job.
Thank you, Chris.
And what do you think of the showcase? This is the first time for you coming and seeing us at a major championship, listening to the voices of
It was
Adam
a
and
lot
Mitchell.
of fun. It was really like a rodeo for me. You know, the music, just
Good.
the show.
That's what we're going for, entertainment, trying to
It
get
was
there.
really high quality. I was very impressed.
That's what we want to hear. I mean, people want to watch this. I've never had a gun in someone's hands when they're doing this sport and they didn't like it. And the same thing goes for the crowd. I mean, it should feel like a rodeo event, and there's no reason why people shouldn't want to come and watch this. And they do. We can pack the stands with this sport.
And the Thursday night showcase, we could kind of beat it up a little. There's a couple things that didn't go exactly like we wanted to, but we'll get it tightened up. I mean, I think we have a really high quality show. I hope everybody at home enjoyed watching it. It's going to tune in again tomorrow night. We're going to bring out all the open riders and compete again. We should have faster runs, should be more exciting.
Yeah.
Just hope I can be in it. I'll be running again tomorrow night in the Eliminator.
You will.
Hopefully better than my cavalry fail tonight, but it's a lot to balance. I mean, I literally announced for the winner of the senior incentive and jumped on my horse.
Yeah.
My wife, I couldn't do it without her. She was down here, horse ready, guns on. Jumped on my horse, and Mitchell already had the mic handed out to me. He knew I was going to come back up there, so I went from the number 2 call on my horse in my cavalry uniform to back out the outgate, changed my clothes, got back into something presentable, and still did the interview with Kenny Lawson.
Yeah.
Put down some 11s out there on the wink tonight. Gosh, That was a good run. Pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank
you so much.
Looking forward to
Appreciate it.
tomorrow.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
looking
Thank you
forward
guys
to
for
tomorrow. Thanks,
watching.
guys. Hope we tune everybody in.